Travis Campbell here of MarketingProfessor.com with my special guest today, Mari Smith. I have two questions for you. The first one is, I understand you are the proud owner of an Apple iPad, is that right? And how are you liking it?
I love it. I love it. It's interesting because I saw some of my friends, early adopter friends, which I consider myself an early adopter, of course, but they were pre-ordering. So then they made appointments. So you go Saturday morning when they came out, you went to the Apple store, and you had your appointment. It was nice and easy. And I thought, why didn't I pre-order? And then I called them up. They were sold out in 15 minutes. Monday morning, like 2 days later, I started a new executive assistant in my office, and I said to her, could you call the Apple store up? It was like 10 o'clock. Find out if they've got any in stock. They said, yeah, come on down. I'm like, I sent her right down to the store. She picked one up for me, and they're saying, which model do you want? She said, oh, it's for my boss. And they're like, oh, what a nice present to give your boss. She's like, oh, no. She's paying for it. But anyway, it sat in the box for like the whole day on that Monday because I was so busy with other stuff, and it was like itching to open it, and I just stayed up late that night, and it's only a few days ago, and I flew on my flight over here, like just 2-hour flight, loved it, and I got a little mobile Wi-Fi device, a MiFi device.
Exactly.
And it's so, we should have had it right here. I'm sitting with my iPhone, but my iPad's in the other room. And I love the screen. I love being able to tip it. And I'm not a big game person, but I like the utility of it. It's like the Facebook FB video. I found a really good app to use Facebook on and watch video if you want. And Twitter, there's a few apps that haven't been upgraded for the iPad yet, but it's just a really cool, it's people talk about being a giant iPhone, which essentially it is, but it can't make calls, but it's perfect for travel, because it's light, you can hold it in your hand, you can just sit in your lap.
Well, I met with Paul Culligan, perhaps those of you that are watching this video have seen that video as well, and he's actually running his business for 30 days on the iPad alone. He went down to LA and met Ed Dale down there to pick up a couple of iPads. So very interesting story. Well, I have another question. It's kind of a burning question. I've been looking forward to asking this. Now, many people, 18 months, 2 years ago, everyone was very excited about social media, and rightfully so. It was gaining in popularity. Everyone in small business was really excited about it, internet marketers and the like. But recently, some key internet marketers have actually deleted their Twitter accounts, have shut down some of their social media accounts. And I've talked to several people who have big fan pages on Facebook, but the people that are their fans are not converting into customers, and they're finding that it's just not having a return on investment. So my question to you, and keeping it real with all you guys, is where are people going wrong with social media? What could they be doing differently, and what are you seeing out there that's really working?
Well, a couple things I want to comment on. So I'm of the philosophy that here's what works for me, here's what works for my students, my clients. Other schools of thought out there, that's fine. You've got to get in the trenches and find out what works for you. So some of these internet marketers, that they choose to just pull the plug because they really like to see some real succinct, proven dollars in, dollars out, and it's usually a short time frame. And it takes a little bit of patience to build up what's called social equity, to really be available and friendly and respond to customers' needs or even their complaints. To be able to track and monitor your reputation is one very, very crucial aspect of social media. I personally believe that social media is an absolute fundamental shift in how we function on the planet. It's a paradigm shift. There's no going back. It doesn't matter if it's Facebook or Twitter, those platforms might evolve, other ones might come and go. The whole concept of how we can connect with anybody on the planet at any time, tweet, live, connect, whatever the technology is, the desire, the human desire to connect and belong to a community is what we're essentially fulfilling. So from a business standpoint, using Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, whatever, different sites where you can gather people, think of them as outposts. So people are looking, they're hanging out on Facebook anyway, they're looking for you, or potentially, they might not know they're looking for you, but if you're there and have a vibrant presence and you're engaging with your community, they might come and do business with you more so than they would someone who's not on Facebook. Does that make sense?
So really, were people going into this with the wrong attitude, like, wow, I can shut down my PPC accounts and just go into social media and befriend a bunch of people and hope that they become customers? And those are just really inappropriate expectations for social media, because really it is about relationship and connecting with people and building rapport and so on and so forth. and as a result of that disappointment, they left. Is that kind of what you see happening?
Yeah, there's a part of that. Absolutely, there's a part of that. Unrealistic expectations, or like thinking that it was the latest, the holy grail, the latest gold mine, gold rush, whatever. And essentially it's not. It's an add-on. People have this mindset that Facebook or Twitter, I use those obviously because they're the most popular right now, but they view them as ATM machines. They think they just can come along and stick their card in, and the site itself is going to spit forth money. And that's not what happens. The money comes from your products and services, which you enlighten, inform, educate people about, provide, move the free line, give away as much valuable information as you can, because people psychologically, they think, oh, if I'm getting this much for free, what happens if I pay them? I'm going to get a lot more. But really, I mean, I use my whole social media presence to nurture the relationships I already have with customers, clients, joint venture partners. Huge. Really, it's a door opener. And ultimately, for me, what's been very, very successful is it's not just what you know, or who you know, but who knows you. And I teach a whole concept called radical strategic visibility, which means you're seen everywhere, in all the right places, at the right times, by the right people. So when they do have a need for your services at some point or products, they think of you. They'll come to you first.
Well, I think you hit on a really important point. We're going to wrap this video up, but I appreciate you taking this time. I think that people, they did one of two things with social media. They got really excited about it, and they dove in.
Right.
And they made it a primary marketing spoke to their hub of their business. And what they found was that the primary spoke wasn't all that strong to bring revenue in and justify that time.
Right.
So then they go to the other side, which is they just turn it off. Yeah. The other extreme that I observed, and you tell me what you think, but people were just using it, and they were trying to find ways to automate all the processes surrounding social media to create a mechanical relationship that you just can't do that to build any sort of rapport. Those are my observations. What do you see?
Yeah, I see the same thing. In fact, one of my colleagues, I wouldn't mention her name, but I do have permission to share the story. So she had done what you're talking about, completely outsourced. She didn't even know how to log into Facebook or Twitter. And so she's had somebody responding to the Facebook chats that would pop up. And lo and behold, there's this customer who's been watching this lady and all her products, services, and promo calls, and got the credit card out and ready. And she Facebook chats this lady and says, I've been watching you, and I really love your style, and I'm ready to buy. And it was a delegatee, an assistant, that just said, oh, thanks very much. Check out our website at www. It was a really generic response. And the girl didn't buy. Later met up with the marketer in person and told her the story, and she said, I was so turned off. She said, I knew it wasn't you. I knew that you had automated, and I had just put my card right back in my pocket. And I think that probably happens far more times than people are even aware of. It's amazing this lady actually came up and told her. So I think that happens a lot. And that's the danger of over-automating. But then you don't want to burn yourself out and have it completely consume your every waking moment.
Exactly.
Carry a mobile device and grout your day. That's a great quote we talk about. Grout your day with it. You don't have to have huge chunks a day. A minute here, a minute there makes all the difference.
Absolutely. Well, any final words for folks that are listening? Tidbits, a little tip or a piece of advice? I
think that really just focusing on the whole 80-20 rule, no matter how many followers, fans, friends you have, that there's going to be 20% of them that will yield results. They'll promote you, they'll be your evangelist, they'll pay you money, be your customer, they'll joint venture partner with you. The other 80% are just really going to be your followers. And every now and again they'll pop up, and they're your buddies, your friends, maybe you don't know them personally. So focus on the 20%, and including as well like the activities you do every day. You've got to be able to look at those high yield results and nurture the high end results, high end relationships. Really pick and choose who you're spending your time with, interacting online and offline.
Solid advice. Mari, where would you like people to go to find you? What website would you want people to know about?
I'd love them to come to my fan page, which is facebook.com/Mari Smith, and Twitter @Mari Smith, and then marismith.com. Find me any of those 3 places.
Excellent. Well, thank you for taking some time. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you found some value in it with my special guest, Mari Smith. My name is Travis Campbell of marketingprofessor.com, and we'll look forward to speaking with you next time on the web.